Well, welcome back to Meydan as we count down to what shall be a wonderful night of racing action on Dubai World Cup night. All the New Zealand racing action and centre of attention will obviously be focused on Ocean Park, the defending Cox Plate champion, as he competes in the Dubai Duty Free. Now, I know nobody back home in New Zealand will believe anything I say, so what I've done is I've enlisted the help of one of the experts here in Dubai, producer and presenter of the Dubai Racing Channel, Laura King. Laura, firstly, thanks for helping us out here with the form going into the Dubai Duty Free with Ocean Park. Everybody back home in New Zealand wants to know how far does he win by and how much does he pay?
Oh, it won't be easy. It's a very good race. Traditionally, the Duty Free is one of the strongest races on the card, probably usually stronger than the World Cup, which I think might well be the case again this year. He's a good horse, we know that, don't we? He's in there with a very good chance, but he's got the South Africans to beat and he's got our boys in blue to beat as well.
Talking about the boys in blue, Godolphin, obviously, that they have a huge presence here over this World Cup night.
They've had a wonderful carnival. Going into the meeting last year, they didn't have any, apart from African Story, not too many clear-cut chances. They had a great night. This year they go in with the favourite in the World Cup and strong chances throughout the undercard as well. So they could well be celebrating come Saturday night.
You've seen the horses go through their paces in the build-up to the Duty Free. Ocean Park, how have you seen him and what are your impressions of him?
I think everyone's first impressions were, wow, he's in cheek pieces, which we don't see all that often in the mornings, particularly not red ones anyway. So I think that surprised one or two people. He wouldn't be the most imposing of horses, I think it's fair to say, but he's taken everything in his stride. He's looked like he's really settled in here, which, bearing in mind, he's one of the horses who's come the furthest, I think is a good thing. And they brought him here sort of 10 days before the race, which I think is also something quite sensible. They've given him plenty of time to acclimatise, and I haven't seen anything I don't like at all.
That's the big question mark about his chances in the Duty Free, of course, Ocean Park, is the travelling that has been involved in getting the horse here.
Well, it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, when do you bring your horses in? If you've come all the way from New Zealand, you can't really bring them in the day before. But a lot of people do like to come in sort of 5-6 days before and run straight off the plane, as they say. This fella has had a little bit longer, should be acclimatised by then. But I don't even think the trainer really knows, and the owners and anyone really knows just how much it takes out of them until you get to race day, unfortunately.
He is a Cox Plate winner, and talking to the local media here, that they seem to really respect that fact.
Yeah, we've got to, haven't you? It's a huge race over in Australia. You know, the form is rock solid as we look at it through you know, the horses that he beat on the day. So that's why we're taking him seriously. His record speaks for itself. But you've got tough competition there, and I'd be most worried, I think, about Mike de Kock's challenge. The Apache is a horse I really, really like. Igugu, if she bounces back to her best, is one to fear, certainly. And then you've got an improver in there, Mushrek, who's been one of the revelations of the carnival. And he just hasn't perhaps stopped improving yet. It's going to be a very, very tough race to win.
So the Apache for you?
I think I'll stick with the Apache, yeah. He ran into one on Super Saturday in Sharjah, who's unbeaten here. She's a very, very good filly. But I wonder if they might just hold on to the Apache a little bit longer than they did then and just try and conserve his sort of run for a little bit later. And I like that horse. He's done nothing wrong so far. And he's not really being talked up, so I'm hoping I might get a little bit of value.
Okay, so that's the tip from you in the Dubai Duty Free, of course, the Apache. But I hope you're a bad judge. I hope Ocean Park does beat him. After Ocean Park wins the Dubai Duty Free, who do we put our money on in the Dubai World Cup?
I think I'm going to stick with Hunters Like, our local horse, another one who's unbeaten at Meydan. He loves this Tapeta surface, which is a big thing going into the Dubai World Cup, which has been a slightly odd race to predict since it moved to Meydan and this all-weather surface. The ability to lie close up, to sit close to the pace is absolutely crucial, and Hunters Like can do that. He's very tactically astute. He can sit pretty much anywhere you want to have him. So I expect to see him place forward, of course, depending on the draw, which we don't know at this stage. And so I think that everything should suit him. And as a course and distance winner, we can't ignore him. I also like Cassiano. I think he's been an improver through the carnival. Again, loves this course. Strictly has it to do on ratings, but you've got to respect a horse that comes here in such good form. And he reminds me of Capone, a horse last year who improved right the way through the carnival, finished second in the World Cup and goes again this year. So Cassiano's to finish in the frame for me. And I'd really, heart-rolling head, love Animal Kingdom to win it. It's been a long story to get him here. They wanted to bring him last year, didn't make the race. I'd love him to win it. And he's probably the best horse in it. But again, you've got this question about the travel, haven't you? It's not as easy to predict a good run from him as it is from the horses that are based here.
An exciting time, obviously, for the connections, for the international racing stage, but it was obviously for you guys as well, because, hey, this is your day in the sun, isn't it? The Dubai World Cup night and day.
I absolutely love it. I think if you don't enjoy this week, the build-up to the World Cup, you're probably in the wrong industry. And it's great to have all the racing press here, the best horses in the world, you know, just galloping past. And I'm from England, we don't get to see track work there. So it's very exciting, and I wouldn't swap it for anything. But I think come next week, we'll all be looking forward to getting some sleep.